Hello guys and welcome to this 30-minute masterclass on the 6 biggest mistakes pet product companies make on Facebook and how to avoid them. My name's Nathan and I'll be running through this presentation with you, whether you've already started a Facebook campaign and you're immersed in looking at the ROI and trying to see what isn't working and wondering why you're not getting the results you want, or whether you're just about to start on a campaign and you're hoping to avoid some of these mistakes that others have made before you. This is a perfect place to start. But let me just say a few things about the pet products industry on Facebook. I mean, we really are gifted. When they were handing out products and services to advertise, nobody wants to walk away with accountancy software or something from the widget industry, do they? We really do have the best products and services to play on these platforms. But that can be very deceptive because it's not all about having the best creative and the best products. You really do have to put some hard work behind the scenes to make sure that you get your campaigns firing. So that is a great starting point for this presentation, and because it really is the essence of what makes a great Facebook campaign. There are plenty of presentations out there, guys, that are running through the platform about how to set up ads, but this isn't one of them. This is going to be proper old school, pen and paper on the kitchen table, on the boardroom table, looking at strategy and literally what you can do right now to walk away at the end of this presentation and put some of these things in place that are going to get you an ROI improvement, and you're going to start seeing some results in your business almost straight away. So that's my promise to you. So let's start with reason one. People are making big mistakes on Facebook, and that is they just don't understand how Facebook ads are structured. Like, this is almost the number one thing that comes up whenever we work with clients. They literally just cannot see how Facebook are structuring their campaigns. And it's quite simple. Facebook have a really neat 3-tier approach to how Facebook ads are structured. At the top we have campaigns, and campaigns are where people set their key objectives. And the objectives you'll be familiar with are things like I want to run a campaign for conversion, or the most common ones are for pet products or conversion or traffic or possibly lead generation. The ones over here on the sort of the middle and the right hand side is where we've got good data. We really understand who our personas and our audiences are. The ones over this way to awareness is possibly where we're starting a little bit fresh. We don't really understand exactly who it is we're targeting, and you're going to see a cheaper opportunity to advertise with Facebook, but possibly less targeted and less effective. You can run as many campaigns as you like, but as long as within the campaign structure you have to stick to that clear objective. So in this example, we're looking at conversions. So that is where we're driving traffic from our ad to complete a particular task, and it may be converting on a landing page or on your website for, let's say, an e-commerce store. So nice and simple, starting off, that's what happens at the campaign level. But the real magic starts to happen at the ad set level. The ad set level is where we start to get into really understanding who our audiences are and where should our ads be placed and what sort of budget are we looking at placing to get our maximum return. Now, audiences is a huge issue, and we're going to be covering this on a couple of these other reasons. But as you can see very clearly, we can have a number of different ad sets underneath one campaign. In this example, I've got two. So for instance, on the left-hand side ad set, we could have an audience set at men, and on the right-hand side, we could have an audience set at women. And we can literally start to split test and test what campaign is working best. And that is literally a theme that's going to run through this presentation. With advertising on digital, in fact, anything that happens on digital matters. You literally just have to test everything. Do men work better than women for your particular products and service? who knows, guys? You've got to test that. And you can test endless amounts of permutations of audiences, age groups, demographics, interests, behaviours against each other at the ad set level to see where your campaign is going to get the best results. And at the final level of the campaign structure, we have the creative, and creative is split into usually 3 parts on Facebook. We have video, we have image, and we have what's called carousel, which is similar to a combination of both of them, but it's where we can have a video or an image followed by up to 10 further images, which is great if you're running, let's say, an e-commerce store and you want to showcase what you want to do. So already you can see we can have endless amounts of permutations. These 3 ads here on the left hand side aimed at men can be the same 3 ads aimed that we are using to aim at the ad set on women. We don't have to change the creative. Or maybe once we've got the ad set that we want to focus on, we can then cancel this one out and we can just focus and then start split testing the creative. So your big takeaway here is before you even begin to think about advertising, you need to draw this structure out, guys. You need to decide on what your goal and objective is. You have to have all that information on your audiences together. Do you know who they are? How are you going to select them on the ad set? And you have to have a good idea about what adverts you're going to run. And then you're going to have to understand very quickly how you're going to split test and structure and run these campaigns. Now, the great beauty of Facebook is you really can start very small with small budgets, testing a number of these permutations early on in the first few days and getting a good indication of what flies and what doesn't. And that is the beauty of Facebook. It's about testing small budgets, seeing what works, and then scaling very aggressively. So reason 1, guys, get a pen and piece of paper, write this down, start understanding how Facebook ads are structured. Right, reason 2 is you haven't got your pixel installed correctly. If you don't know what a pixel is and you're finding yourself on this masterclass, you are not even doing Facebook advertising if you don't know what the pixel is. The pixel is a piece of code, it's a piece of JavaScript that sits on our website. Where do we get this pixel from? Well, Facebook gives it to us. There are endless videos, guys, out there showing you how to get your pixel from your business manager or from your campaign setup and how to install it on your website. Just go off and search one of those sort of vanilla videos of how to install your pixel. The key thing here is what do we actually do and why do we want to install it? That's the hard thing for people to understand, why we actually want it. What's the strategy and the tactics behind that? So the pixel allows us to see what web visitors are coming to our platforms, and it works over mobile, it works over desktop and so on, all our platforms, and it gives us data about how those people actually behave. So this is super duper. We can start then to split up and see who's visiting, who's purchasing, who might be just nearly purchasing but hasn't quite gone through it, and we can start to build up audiences around this because the pixel is literally identifying every one of these behaviors. Once we start to get these behaviors, we can do some clever things. We can start to retarget people. Retargeting is understanding what behavior people are taking on our website and on our digital assets, and then building ads specifically for them that suit them. That is the power of the pixel. Facebook is literally the most powerful advertising platform out there, guys, if you use it properly. But so much of it is based around using the pixel correctly. I wouldn't even like to think how many people haven't spent the time and energy understanding what the pixel does for them. There is so much data. Here is some of the what are called standard events that give you information. You know, we can start to find out who's added payment information, who's purchased, who's added to cart. We can start to do all those clever things like abandoned cart adverts that you've probably seen yourself and been a recipient of. Understand the pixel. Reason 2. So reason 3, you're not using audiences. Now we know a little bit about audiences already, don't we guys? Because we've talked about them at the ad set level under reason 1, and we've also alluded to them on the pixel. The pixel allows us to start building up really great audiences. So there are 3 types of audiences that we can use on Facebook. The first one is organic. This is literally where you are guessing who you want to target at the ad set level. And Facebook gives us some great tools to be able to target their interests and their behaviours, and we can get all this psychographic information and this demographic information to be able to build audiences and target them. But guys, this is really guesswork and lots of split testing, and it's tough. You have to put in the hard, heavy workload before you start to get good audiences. But a far better way to do this, if you can, is to be able to build what are called custom audiences. Now, you cannot build custom audiences unless you've got that pixel installed. Now, here's the thing with the pixel. It's free and it lasts for, I think, 180 days. Even if you're not running Facebook campaigns at the moment, even if you're not even thinking of doing Facebook campaigns, install that pixel, because at some point in the future that may change. There is nothing worse for like an agency like us to take on a client that's got a great website, people are buying, but they are literally we are starting from the very bottom if they've not got the pixel, because we then have to spend time, energy and money understanding that traffic over the next coming days, weeks and months, when we could have had all that data in place already. So that's custom audiences, and I think this is a good opportunity. Let's dive out and have a look at the platform and have a look at some of the things you can do with custom audiences. So here we are, guys, on Business Manager, and we're looking at the audience section. If we go up here just to see how we got there, on Business Manager, we will go over here to audiences. We will click on audiences. If you don't know what Business Manager is, guys, once again, look at one of those vanilla presentations on YouTube that will show you all about Facebook Business Manager. It is key if you're going to be running campaigns. If you're not using it, this is please go out and watch one of those videos and set it up. Right, here we are, create audiences. There are 3 audiences we can use here: custom audiences, lookalike audiences, and then we can save some of our audiences as well. Let's have a look at custom audiences. There are 5 options when we click custom audiences: customer file, website traffic, app activity, offline activity and engagement. For pet products industry, 99% of you are going to use 3 of these different types, and that's going to be customer file, web traffic and engagement. So they're the 3 we're going to look at. App and offline are pretty niche, but app maybe a little bit more so if you are launching an app and whatever. Offline if you've got a shop, but we're going to concentrate on these 3. So customer file is if you've got an email list, you can upload that, you know, subject to GDPR regulations and etc. You can upload that list into Facebook, and Facebook will recognize who those people are if they're on Facebook and allow you to run ads against them. So that's fantastic. Yeah, you've got a list of 30,000 potential prospects. You want to upload that list, maybe Facebook recognizes 20,000 of them. You can then just run ads at those 20,000 people. You are not spending money guessing who might like your products and services. You already know from that list. So super effective. Now, website traffic is another custom audiences we can build. And if we click on this, we can then start using the pixel. We can then start to build up audiences based on website behavior. In this particular case, we're going to target all website visitors. In fact, we'll change that to all people that have initiated checkout in the last 30 days. But we're going to exclude people who have purchased in the last 30 days. And then we can call that an audience. We can give that audience a name, and we can create that audience, and we can use it to advertise against people in the ad set. That is what is called a classic cart abandonment audience. We're targeting people that initiated checkout, but we're excluding the people that purchased, which just leaves these people that abandon the cart. We can literally focus on these guys. So much you can do around website traffic there, guys. Then we can look at engagement audiences. Engagement audiences are super powerful on Facebook. There's lots of different choices we can use, but the main ones are video, lead form. They pretty much probably take about 70-80% in pet products, but they're also, we can run campaigns. These are less popular now against people's behavior on our Facebook page and our Instagram profiles. Let's have a look at video. This is literally where we've run a video and we can target people who've watched a particular percentage of one of our videos. So let's say we're running a campaign where we've put a video out there and people have only watched 50% of that video. 50% is quite a lot on Facebook. Maybe that's like what we perceive as being an engaged audience. Well, we want to create a special ad just for those people. That's where we can build it on engagement, on video, right here. So go in and start playing about on the type of audiences you can use there. The second area is lead forms. Lead form is a relatively new feature in the last year or two that Facebook have given, which is their own sort of landing page that you can build, that people don't have to sort of leave the platform. They can literally, you can put up a landing page. As soon as people click on your ad, that Facebook can capture certain information from those people, and you can ask them certain questions and they click through and we get their data. Now that's super powerful. We can create audiences from them based on all their behaviors. And then the final one, the final two that people use is the Facebook page and Instagram page. We can build audiences from people's behavior that have touched these particular pages. So everybody who's liked our particular Facebook page, let's build an audience and advertise it there, and so on with Instagram as well. So really powerful stuff. And if you're not using audiences, you really are not Facebook advertising. Let's jump back in and look at what the third one is. So the third one is lookalike audiences. Now, lookalike audiences are all about taking our custom audiences. Let's say our custom audiences was 500,000 people that we created, let's say from people who've watched one of our videos, who've liked our page, and we want to create people who look like them. Wow, and Facebook are going to give us a huge number based on certain variations and how accurate that audience is. We can then start to build up other audiences. Let's dive into the platform and look at some examples. So here we will go to lookalike audiences. We would literally pick from the pixel, we will pick a particular activity. In this one, people who've added to the cart. And then we would literally pick how accurate we want that audience, and Facebook would then build a new audience for us. Guys, this is literally a game changer. If you don't know how to build lookalike audiences, so we can, if you've had 1,000 people purchase something on your website, you can then build a lookalike audience of who these 1,000 people are. Like, Facebook literally knows everything about our behavior on the web and the type of people that purchase your products and service. This is super accurate by persona avatar information that Facebook are giving you and allowing you to build out audiences and target your ads at them. So it seems crazy that if you haven't got that pixel installed and you don't understand lookalike audiences, get out there and start using them. Really super. Okay, so reason 4, your campaigns aren't working because you're not retargeting. Okay, so let's talk about retargeting. It should be your number one type of campaign. Before you do anything, you should be setting up and understanding what a retargeting campaign is, because they are the most effective campaigns on Facebook. And let me explain why. You've got main ad Facebook 1 and main ad Facebook 2. That's a classic split test. You're trying to drive traffic, for in this example, to your e-commerce store. You're testing both of those ads. I've made an assumption in this particular case that these are video ads. What you're going to do is install the pixel onto the, you'll have the pixel installed, and you will create a Facebook audience, custom audience, based on the engagement of that video. In this particular case, we've created an engagement audience of people who've watched 50% of that video. And we're going to retarget them with a sequence of ads. In this example, I've given a sequence of 2 ads over the next 1, 2, 7, 10, 20, 30, 60 days. Why is this so effective? Because it's a different type of traffic. Main ad Facebook 1 and main ad Facebook 2 are targeting cold to warm traffic, most probably. Now, people who've watched 50% of your video are going to be warm to hot traffic, which means your cost per click is going to drop and your conversion rate is going to increase. Simples. This is literally the most effective way that you can use retargeting to increase your conversion rate. Do it now. If there's one thing you take away from this masterclass, it is to look at, study this one slide and understand how to implement it for your pet product business, because it will change things for you in a good way. Okay, enough said. Reason 5 that your campaigns are not working because your creative isn't working. Now, this is usually the number one place that people on pet products jump to when we talk about Facebook, because it's not all about the creative, although a lot of people think it is. Now, creative is split into 2 parts. We've got the image section and we've got the copy section. The image section is all around grabbing people, stopping them, hopefully in their tracks, and disrupting their timeline so they concentrate on what it is you are trying to engage them with. The copy is to get people to click through. You have to have both of these things firing to have a great creative ad. Let's look at several tips and tricks that we can do and look at to improve our creative. Choose the right tool for the job. Now, you've got 3 choices when it comes to creative. You've got a carousel ad, an image, or a video. Now, video is going to work best if all things are equal. Nothing works better than a great video. But of course, that doesn't tell us the full story, because not all videos were created equal. If you've got a video but you have not captioned it, this is a mobile first platform. People are not going to turn the sound and volume up just because you've made a video that no one can follow unless you turn the volume up. And of course, videos are hard to do. They're hard to get right. So maybe your only choice is an image or a carousel ad. So you make sure you're choosing the right tool for the job. We're finding that images work really well in our retargeting ads. And we're finding for B2B platforms in particular, e-commerce platforms in particular, carousel ads are absolutely smashing it for us. Carousel gives you like an image or a video up front and then a series of up to 10 images that you can run, which gives you a chance to showcase or platform some of your brilliant products and services. So make that decision carefully. Tip 2, wrong way, test absolutely everything, because everything matters on digital. whether you put a green or red colour on your copy or on your ad, it matters. The truth is we just don't know how it will matter until we have tested it. So you have the ability, we've gone through the campaign and ad set structure, to split test till your heart is content, till we literally have the maximum ad and creative firing. Test everything. Tip 3, wow, we can make really defined targeted audiences on Facebook. So start making ads that speak to those audiences and not sloppy ads that try and address everyone with something really vague. You can literally reach out and speak to people like they're the only person in the room on Facebook. So make those audiences defined and make targeted ads to fit. Tip 4, wow, I mean, this is very annoying for me. You would not believe, but people don't match their images to the ad. The context isn't there. People are left very disappointed when they see an image or a video and it doesn't bear any resemblance to what the actual ad offer is. Simples, just put it right. Match your image and copy to the ad. Tip 5, start using micro moments in everything that you do. Micro moments help inform exactly how people are using social media. People are looking for stuff, they want to discover stuff, they want to know stuff, they want to do stuff, go places and buy stuff. We put micro moments at the heart and soul of everything that we do, so start using them. Tip 6, start using numbers, because numbers are like brain candy for everything we do on social media. They help us engage. Who doesn't like numbers? They help anchor us and establish an authority and give us an expectation. Use numbers creatively on your ads. Tip 7, don't ever end a headline with a full stop. Use punctuation. Yes, you can ask a question. It's a great way to build a headline, and you can use the ... but don't use a full stop. So 7 tips there that should really help improve the quality of your ads. Moving on to last but not least, reason 6 your campaigns aren't working is because you don't understand your metrics, and metrics are super duper important. And if metrics are that important, we really do have to understand them. Now, this is, like I said, not a deep dive into metric land, but rather, hopefully, an awareness raising and a few light bulbs going off that some of the stuff that we really do need to understand. Now, up here I've put optimization metrics, which are the things that we are trying to control, and the bottom line metrics are the things we actually do control. So let's dive in and let me run through this example. Here we've got average order value. Average order value, well, if you've got products and services at different price points, this is going to vary, but you are going to have to make an assumption or a calculation to come up with it. In this particular case, I'm going to assume it's 500, and you are making a healthy £100 profit from your average order value. Now here, the customer acquisition cost, we have to decide what we're prepared to spend to acquire a new customer. This almost goes straight back to your business plan. And literally, how fast do you want to grow your business? How aggressively do you want to acquire new customers? What are the pressures and the strains on your business plan? Guys, the hard work is not done on the platform. The hard work is done on the table, thinking around the strategy and the tactics and then applying it to the platform. So on this particular case, we're going to assume that we can afford to spend £50 on it to acquire a customer. But we want, how many customers do we need a month? We need 100 new customers a month, which means that we can spend a whacking £5,000 to acquire new customers each month. Now, let's have a look at some of the optimization metrics. That means we need 2,500 impressions, 2,500 people coming to see this ad. And we're going to need a click-through rate of 4%, which is going to give us, we can spend £2 for every click. And it's going to cost us £2,000 cost per 1,000 impressions. Now, if you've been listening for the last half an hour, you will be full of tips and tricks and secrets, and we will know what the big mistakes are that people make on pet products Facebook ads, and you will be able to move that hopefully from 4% to say 5%, which means that we can reduce our impressions and increase the money we spend per click. However, if you are just starting off, maybe you've got a lousy click-through rate of 1%, and you can only afford to spend 50 pence per click, and you need a whopping 10,000 people coming. So hopefully that'll just give you an idea and a feel for how important metrics really are. You should not even be running a campaign unless you understand what it is you want out of that campaign before you start. You cannot just sail off into the middle distance hoping to get to your destination without at least having a plan. And these metrics are that route, guys. So take note. Now, hopefully you found that Whistle-Top 30-minute masterclass of some help. We have covered an awful lot of information just in 30 minutes. If you've got any comments, leave them below. If you've got any questions, reach out to any of us here at Pet Metrics. We'd love to hear from you. And good luck, and I'm looking forward to engaging with your incredibly new, super-duper charged Facebook ads.